Reverend Solomon, you, from your experience, we see that your way of thinking, your way of conducting your mission, going going from all aspects of human life, like spiritual and also material, social. You said that it's really opened doors for your ministry.
Yeah.
So, how do you think we can train pastors to have such a way of thinking?
Yeah, it is a good idea if we can train pastors, because if the head is rotten, the body will not be strong and it will not yield anything. So the life box has to be trained, because if a pastor or a missionary is being trained, especially missionaries, let me re-emphasize this word, missionaries. Missionaries are the founders of any mission, of any church. So if this kind of training can be given, can be imparted into missionaries that will start churches, they will start it with this idea of self-reliance. And if it is started with them, pastors that will come, they will build on the work that missionaries has already laid, and they will continue teaching. Like in my own church, we have missionaries, we have pastors. The work of a missionary is to go and plant a church. If he got some believers, he will disciple them and also baptize them. As far as he got 7 baptized members, he will leave them and go to the next area and hand over it to a pastor that will be shepherding, that will be nourishing them. So, since we have theological schools, it is in theological schools that we need to share this concept. If we share this concept there, both missionaries and pastors, they will learn from there. And if them by themselves has catch this vision, we can change the story. We can change the story, because if they are transformed, they can also be able to be transformers. Because you cannot transform somebody if you are not transformed. The reason why I am able to put all those things in order is because of I have tested it and I have seen it, and I'm still using it, and it is working. It is working. It is working. So if the church or the body of Christ can take it into that level to teach our pastors, to teach our missionaries, it will come to an end. It will come to an end, because everybody will go with that concept, and that concept, it works because it's something biblical. It's something. It is the mind of God.
In our setting, we call it use your talents.
Yeah.
This way of doing it.
Yeah.
So if we have to train pastors on it, according to you, what could be the content of the training?
The content of the training.
Yes.
Yeah. The first content is to know your Creator. Who is your Creator? And who are you as a man? As a believer, who are you? What is your relationship with God? Understand your relationship.
Yes.
As I said in the other episode that I've spoke, I said the Bible has clearly said He has given us the right to be His children.
So, if I understand, the first thing is to link this way of thinking to the Bible, to the Word of God.
To the Bible.
And then
that's the source.
So, using the Bible.
Yeah, first. Biblical principles.
Yes, so biblical principle of this self-reliance or way of thinking,
the use of way talents of thinking,
and so on.
The content should be about changing mindset.
From the Bible,
Yes.
or just with
Changing mindset
because
with
we
the
can
Bible.
also have it. We can also have it from
Yeah.
other sources like
Yeah.
entrepreneurship trainings. They are also talking much about
Yeah.
changing mindset.
Yeah.
Why not using
Changing
that?
the mindset from human thinking to biblical mindset.
In a training school, how do you think we can do it practically?
Yeah, practically, it can be done. It can be started in school.
How?
It can be started in school with the students. Both practical and both practical aspect.
Yes, but my question is, how do you think we can do it practically? How it should be done? How the teacher at that Bible school or theological institute would do it to transmit to the
He has
student?
to put it to be practical.
How?
If this is what I am saying, practical. The teachers there that are teaching about use your talent, they shouldn't just teach it theoretically. A use your talent propagator, if he has nothing to show practically, I don't call him a talent user, use your talent propagator. No.
So he has to show what he has done. So practically.
Practically.
Yes.
He has to put it practically so that it can be seen, because seeing is believing. Seeing is believing.
Okay.
There's a saying, if hyena has a medicine to cure diarrhea, let him heal himself.
Yes.
So you cannot come and tell me, use your talent, use your talent, use your talent. I am seeing you under object poverty. That cannot work.
Okay. So you said first thing, work on change of mentality.
Yeah.
By teaching on biblical principles.
Yes.
Related to this matter.
Related
and the second
to
thing,
use your talent.
doing it by yourself, doing
Do
it
it by yourself
and showing what you are doing.
Show what you are doing.
What would be the third thing again?
And when people begin to realize what you are doing, then in the school, he can group the students to share this matter with them. To share this matter with them. And let him follow the biblical principles in teaching them. What are the biblical principles? Our God is not a magician. Our God has commanded us to reproduce, to multiply. These are biblical principles. God has taught us to prosper and to be successful, not to live under hardship and failure. It's something in the Bible. That is theoretical part. When you are reading the Bible, it's theory. But when it comes to reality, practical, doing it, you are doing it, you have put something to do. That is practical. How? Let's just look at how Jesus did in his own time. People gathered, heard his message. Throughout the day, they spent the whole day listening to his words. Then his disciples were worried. They said, evening, the night is coming down and no food to give these people. Let's talk with our master to liberate them to go into the town, nearest city, to go and buy food. They said, yes, it's true. This is what we need to do. Master, please, can you stop preaching and allow these people to go and look for something to eat before the night will come down? Funny enough, Jesus told them, give them something to eat. That word, give them something to eat. And what do they have? They said, we don't have anything. He repeated the same word, give them something to eat. They started looking around to see whether they will get something. Then they found a small boy. Why not a big person? That's my question. Why not a big woman, but a small boy that
is a good
has a
question.
bread and fish inside his bag? It may be like a school bag. I just try to imagine how it looks like. Then they ask the boy, Master needs this thing from you, because it is something to eat. He said, no problem, you can take it. That boy was not greedy, was not selfish. He was faithful in taking all what he had and give. And they brought it to the master. They said, Master, look, this is the only thing we have. He said, this is okay, it's enough. He lifted it up and blessed the fish and the bread. Bringing it down, it becomes immutable. What does he taught us there? Is multiplication. He reproduced other breads. He reproduced other fish from that little fish. And people ate, including that boy, including him. All of them ate to their satisfaction. More than 5,000 people ate that food. Remnant was how many baskets? 12, right? Was the number of fish and the bread reach 12?
No.
Even one basket, it didn't reach. But remnant, only remnant was 12. Apart from what they eat. What does that teach to the church? If we are not greedy, we can multiply. If we are not greedy, we can reproduce with what we have.
And
Therefore,
okay.
Therefore, in that school, in theological schools where we train pastors and missionaries, we need to start it from there. Instead of making them to be beggars, training beggars. Pastors and many missionaries today have become beggars. Because of missing this concept. If we understand the concept of God, we will never fail. We will never be tails, but we will always be the head. Because our God is a big God. It's not a small God.